Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Haunted Pirates. Sea of Thieves has just released Season 4.
And today we're bringing you a guide on the Sunken Treasuries. Okay, so as you can see, we found our purple shiny in the water and docked up our boat, feeling a bit nervous about the fact that we're probably going to get sunk within a few seconds. And we're swimming down to the coral entrance, which you can see it's all glowing, which suggests that it's active.
So what we're looking for is this kind of flashy object here. It's shining, it's a bit of coral, and it's the entrance to the doorway. Now the first thing you'll notice is that I stop, and this gives Sally a chance to hit that. And basically if you hit that with a sword or any of your weapons, it will open up and you can come through, which this time saved us from a few of the sirens that tried to chase us in.
So as you can see, next we come into this kind of prep room. There's lots of tridents of the dark tide, so we're probably going to be shooting a lot of things, likely ocean crawlers and sirens. And there's also quite a few barrels with a lot of food, so we're expecting to take quite a lot of damage throughout this, which is always fun.
Now we ran up to the entrance here, just had a bit of a good look round. Obviously it's quite a big arena area, there's no other places to go, and just above the door is another one of those flashy coral objects. So using one of the tridents, we open the door so we save any ammunition we might want to use.
And now we're in the arena and we can already start to see that there are tridents around the room, so we're expecting to have a lot of firepower needed for this fight. And then suddenly you start to see the room is filling with water, which isn't at all scary.
And this signifies kind of the start of the Treasury. So what you're going to have now is a series of waves, 6 in total, having sirens and ocean crawlers. Now the first one here being sirens, and when they first appeared there was maybe 2 to 3. In a second you'll hear the noise that signifies the start of the round. And when you hear that noise, that means you've got a few enemies coming your way. Now each round is about 3 to 4 enemies. This one obviously was sirens to begin with. They're quite easy to kill. They only take a few hits with the trident of the dark tides. And the rounds work in pairs. So what you're going to start off with is 2 rounds of sirens. And then once you've taken them all out, the water will start to empty from the room and you'll start to take on some crawlers.
So as you can see now, the water's coming down and we can start to look at recouping any health we need, eating anything, maybe switching out a trident so that you've got a bit more power and it doesn't die halfway through the next fight.
Now there it is again, that's the noise that signifies a new wave, so always keep an ear out for that. And we're straight into the sea creatures. Same again, 2 to 3 will spawn. As you work through, that number will go up to about 4 to 5. Now to begin with, these will mostly be the smaller ocean crawlers, and as you progress through, they'll become more and more of the larger ones. Now once you've cleared these waves, you'll start to notice that the room fills with water, and this signifies the end of the crawler waves, of which there were 2, and back into the sirens.
So now that we've been through the siren round and then also the ocean crawler round, essentially we just do those 2 rounds again twice through. So instead of making you listen to us talk through each of those, we're actually going to share some tips with you.
The first tip I've got for you is just to remember you are holding a trident, and that can become problematic if you want to try and eat something. You have to remember you're going to drop it first and then eat something and pick it back up. And that also goes for reviving your teammates. Don't do what I did and run up to Sally and just stare and look at her while holding a trident, wondering why I couldn't pick her up.
Also, something with the trident that I noticed is that obviously a trident has a lifespan, and the last thing you want to be doing is mid-fight losing your trident and then trying to quickly figure out where another one is. So sometimes if you know you've been using it for a while, potentially between rounds, it's worth dropping the one you're using and picking up a new one just to make sure you don't run out partway through.
Tip number 3, if someone does die, don't worry. If one of your teammates does go down and you don't revive them in time, they will go to the Ferry of the Damned, but instead of returning to the ship, they will come straight back into the Treasury, and so it's not that much of a bother.
Also, the other thing from me is that obviously the tridents are super useful and we've talked about them a lot in this video. However, it is important to remember there are some TNT barrels at the bottom, so you could maybe use those for the ocean crawlers. There is also obviously still your gun and your sword, so if you don't have a trident for any reason or just don't want to use it, you have got that option as well. Don't forget though, TNT is dangerous, and ironically that's how I just died.
So we're coming to the end of the last crawlers wave here, dealing with the little ones, and as we come into the final wave you will notice the Treasury Vaultmaster.
Now this is essentially the final boss. Once we've killed him, that's when the vault will open. So you can see here we're clearing out those final ocean crawlers, and now the Treasury Vaultmaster is about to go down.
Now he's not actually that hard, especially if you've got the trident. You'll see he went down in just a few hits, and that signifies the end of the Treasury and the vault door opening up.
So now all the hard work's over. Jack's having a pomegranate and now looking around in the vault itself. You can see we have a lot of treasure there, and there are a lot of treasure chests that can be opened. This is really useful because there's a lot of small loot. So if you can open them up and there's space, it will help you carry the things through a lot easier, and it will take up less slots with the merfolk.
Now it's really easy to get the loot out of the vault. You'll have seen a number of people talking about these treasure statues. Essentially, grab the treasure chest, grab the loot, run over to the statue and place it in. It can hold up to 20, and then when you're finished you can use that to get back to your boat.
So once you've returned back to the boat, hopefully it's still in one piece, and you can then locate the merfolk that's looking after your treasure and ask him to bring the loot back to you. Once you've done that, that will bring all of the loot to the surface.
And then all that's left is to spin your boat into a useful position so you can start harpooning all the loot back onto the boat.
As you can see there, I've just spoken to the merfolk, and now all of the loot is appearing up on the surface, ready for us to harpoon.
Now it does all appear in one place, and it does all appear all at once, so you want to make sure that there's no other ships around who might try and steal it all.
Once you've harpooned it all on, then's the time to hotfoot it to the nearest outpost and sell all of those items so you get all the coin.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you found this guide useful. We're going to be making plenty more on Season 4 of Sea of Thieves.
And if you'd like to support us, please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel.
We've been Haunted Pirates. Thanks for watching.